This fielded a few yards into the end zone. They find some open field here. There he goes left side. Touchdown, Houston. That's going to be a 103-yard kickoff return. What a run. And the Texans have taken the lead. Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going? And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. J.J. Watt, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Throwing, Dalton. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. Room past the 20. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
It's 4th down.
So in their own territory, but they only need a few inches, so they're going to opt to go for this thing. We'll see. Maybe a surprise pass or run. What will they do? We're about to find out. 4th down. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Let's go.
From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. Got his man. It's Eifert. A gain of 6 there on first.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 38-yard line.
Ready for the second quarter from Cincinnati. It's the Bengals with the football here as they've got it with a 2nd and 4 coming up. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon, and he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, and defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
Despite only needing 1, Dalton to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Randy Gregory coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Returning, it's Benjamin. A good kick, 48 yards, 4 on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 22. Watson off play action. Going up top. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. The 20. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller. 78 yards. And the Texans are able to show off their quick strike ability. The 21st pick back in the 2016 draft, Will Fuller, and we know that he can take the top off of a defense.
He certainly can, and the way that he does it is just straight, pure speed. And I saw it with one of the better defensive coordinators in the league, and I said, how do you defend that? And he said, at times, you absolutely don't. If the quarterback gets time and he heaves it downfield, Will Fuller's going to outrun any coverage you put out there.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. Their deficit is 11, 14-3, and needing to get something going here as they come up on 1st and 10. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 26, and he'll take this back down inside the 20. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find the spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
And they're also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down.
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Flush to his right. He's going to take off with it. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first. From the gun, here's Watson. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Stepping up, touchdown, Texans. Not the first time on this drive we saw him take matters into his own hands, and this time he finishes things off with a touchdown run.
You're not going to be happy with me, but I think he took matters into his own feet, didn't he?
No. Davis from the top rope. I like it. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From midfield here, Dalton. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Joe Mixon. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Check curls.
Off the play fake to Mixon. This is Dalton. And able to find Green. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Dalton's pass complete to Green. 18 yards on that one, and the Bengals are moving. 1st down.
It's a game of 18. That's another Bengals 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 20.
A first chance in the red zone for the Bengals now. 1st and 10 right at the 20. Here's Dalton. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Joe Mixon hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Bengals are able to draw a bit closer. Bullet good on the extra point, and it makes the score 21-10. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And a good effort on the return there. Gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Duke Johnson, the one he was looking for. But it's going to be 2nd down. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Throwing again is Watson. Flushed out right. And now he's going to use his legs. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That one good for 26 and a 1st down.
On that play, as you saw the route start to develop downfield, I got the sense that maybe the run would set up for him. And he took full advantage of it and got a big gain on a busted play.
On 1st down, Watson. They'll let this go for the end zone. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. The chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Now Watson. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Duke Johnson, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Texans push further out in front. The touchdown all set up by the big play one snap before, but they finish it off here with a shorter completion, this time for the score.
I like how they stuck with what got them there, right? The big pass play, got the momentum going, right? You create it with a play like that, and you come right back with another pass play to finalize things off.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent...
He's getting him in. Complete. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number one. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Dalton here from the gun. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over, then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And bulldozing his way through. And he's taken down inside the 30. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop him with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Eluding the pressure right. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. And again, Andy Dalton to throw. He'll find his running back, Joe Mixon. Certainly not what they wanted there. No gain, and it's 4th down. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that'll get the deficit down to 15. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
This will be taken in at the 1. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far, as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, it's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the 3rd quarter. This will be taken in at the 1. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spend the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Escaping the pressure right. And he's going to keep it here. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
Faking the give. Now Watson. And he hits his target. It's Kenny Stills. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 23 yards, the final tally. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 34. Now Watson's throw is taken in by QT. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Watson. And he'll find Akins there, complete. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Jordan Akins, his first touchdown on the year. And the Texans push further out in front. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Mixon with a first down carry. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
On 2nd and 12, Dalton. Open man is Uzama. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A gain there of 21 yards.
Such a valuable commodity to have a tight end who can run and get open. How about what he just did there? Worked his way from right to left across the field and found his way free.
On first down, Mixon. Past the 20. Almost unstoppable on the ground there as that one is good for 39. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Whitney Merciless showing no mercy. Flies in for the sack. After the sack on first down, Dalton. And the pressure gets to him again. Charles, not to point fingers, but how much of this goes on the shoulders of the offensive line? Well, look at the 6 sacks last week. That's the 4th in this game.
Definitely the bulk of it does go on the offensive line. That's what they're tasked with doing, keeping their quarterback upright and clean in the pocket. But I think they have to look at, okay, are we bringing in extra people? Is the ball out of the quarterback's hands quick enough? There are a few other factors they have to look at to try and help out. But you're exactly right. It starts with the O-line.
So that one is his 3rd of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Okay, can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. This is taken at the 3. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
A big-time play there for the Texans. 41 yards. Well, hello. I mean, it took him a while to get him a rep, but that's quite an introduction to this game.
And not just hello. How about goodbye to the defense as he went past him? Big-time run on his first carry of the game.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop him. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. Back now in Cincinnati. It's the Texans in control of the football and leading this game as well as we start the fourth. On second down, Benjamin. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Buying time to his left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Carlos Dunlap, the Florida Gator, chopping his way to the quarterback. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it.
And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Joe Mixon, 78 yards. And the Bengals are able to cut into this lead. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. A big seam, and he might go all the way. He's at the 40, 20, 10, and he takes it all the way back. It's a pick 2, if you will, as that play backfires in a big way. And the effort snuffed out. The Texans' hands team recovers. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Nothing on that one. It'll be second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
Looked at me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield, and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out, and he is going to need to bomb this one. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the fourth quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, you know, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Whitney, merciless, picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tashawn Gibson. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down. Well, both defenses have had their struggles, but they've been good enough to get them this lead, and another nice play there to help preserve the lead.
It's been a game of punch-counter-punch, hasn't it? All throughout. But this time, the big swing was taken, and it didn't land. Nice play by them on defense.
Suddenly, it's first and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. They'll run it with Johnson. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down. From back at the 4, here's second and goal. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They've got a second and goal now as they look to add a few more points here onto their total. On second down now, Benjamin. And he fights his way into the end zone for a Texans touchdown. A great play there. With his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Texans use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Bengals drive about to get going. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I've never played.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Gary and Conley. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. Well, it wasn't always pretty, but the interception there, that means that they should get out of here with a victory.
Yeah, this is not a game that they're going to preserve for posterity on defense, but they did finish it off, didn't they? They did make the winning play to close things out. They'll take that one and head to the locker room.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. Officially, no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. On 3rd down, Benjamin. And they'll get to him short of the 1st down at about the 16. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
They run. It's Johnson. Bill O'Brien rolls the dice, but to no avail. And the Bengals will get the football back. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that, saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out of them. That's just who they are.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Dalton. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. It's do or die for Dalton. Flush to his right. Now a desperation throw deep, and that's caught inside the 30. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Tashawn Gibson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Texans, the win gets them back to 500.